Welcome to We're Watching Reality TV. My name is Wanda,
And I'm Chris.
and we are reviewing Traitors Season 4, Episode 6.
Yes, indeed. I have no banter today. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's boogie. This was
Okay,
a good episode.
it was a good
So
episode.
let's talk about it.
Okay, so we start off with none of the guests, or I guess none of the.
Well, we don't know yet because whether anybody took a shield or not wasn't revealed.
Right, that's what I was about to
Oh,
say.
okay.
They don't know whether anybody's been murdered or not
Right.
when this episode starts off. So it
Right.
starts off with them in breakfast,
Yep.
with Maura, Rob, and Kristen coming in first. And again, nobody knows whether there was a murder or not, and so they're all like wondering whether there was a murder.
Mm-hmm.
Then Lisa, Candace, Tara, and Mark come in together, and Lisa is making a point to talk more.
Yes.
Because after the turret, she found out that
Oh,
Colton
yeah. It was on the
was,
radar.
yeah, she was on Colton's
On his
radar,
radar.
and he was saying that she wasn't talking enough,
Yeah.
and she was being quiet and this and that. So she's decided that she's going to make it a point to talk more.
But I always thought she was talking at the breakfast.
She was
I
always
always
talking at
thought that,
breakfast.
and her mannerisms seemed so over the top, which
Yeah,
I guess makes sense for her being a housewife, right? And
right.
that just strikes me as her personality, like, ooh, ah, oh, all that extra exclamation point, that interjection, yeah, right? Remember that?
I remember.
Okay.
I don't think anybody else
She's not
remembers, but I
enamored with
remember.
my schoolhouse rock shenanigans.
No, no, not at all. So then, I think no, it wasn't the last group, but Steven, Johnny, Ron, and Natalie come in together.
Mm-hmm.
And Johnny is talking about trying to get a group of 8 together to control the round table.
Yep.
And then the last group comes in, and they all realize that everyone is still there. So they
Yes.
realize that no one was murdered.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ron is funny. He's like, I'm surprised to still be here. I guess what did he say? Something to the effect of get back to work, trying to open up and all of that stuff so he can figure out, who the traitor is. So
Yeah.
he's regrouping. He's regrouped rather.
Yeah. So, and everybody, of course, is excited that they're all still there.
Yep.
We get a flashback to the turret, and the traitors are told that they can't murder.
Mm-hmm.
And then they talk about plans to murder Colton tomorrow if they can.
Yeah.
But Candace points out that if he keeps talking about Lisa,
Right. This is
then it's
suspicious.
going to be too obvious to murder him.
So this is one thing that struck me in the turret, right? I get it. You want to be extra dramatic, but when something about Lisa, when she was like, "I just want to slit his throat" or whatever she said,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Come on, that's a little much."
Well,
Because that doesn't happen. What are you talking about? You just basically put somebody out of a game. Why go there? I don't know.
well, again,
It just seemed like way too over the top to me
well, I mean, she is a little over the top, so it was whatever. It
and
was just the
uncalled
drama.
for.
Yeah, I mean, the comment may have been a little bit much, but it is what it is. I don't, it didn't strike me as anything.
Okay,
Yeah,
maybe I'm just sensitive to it.
I don't know, but it didn't really strike me as much. It was just a comment.
Okay.
Um, and then Stephen, Dorinda, Candace, Johnny, and Jam Jam, and Lisa and Colton are all in the kitchen as Stephen asked everyone if they were still on Ron. And Colton is saying that he doesn't think Ron's a traitor.
Yeah. Yeah. So he said that back after breakfast. Okay.
Yeah. Hmm.
All right.
Well, of course, because he was on Lisa. So, of
Yeah.
course, he's,
He switched again
yeah,
and
yeah,
off of the Ron train.
right. And Ron and Rob are playing chess, and Rob is beginning to seems like he's beginning to really soften up to Ron.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
It was cool. Like I think Rob sees a lot that they have, some things in common. They're both introverts,
Yeah.
both quiet. And I think it might have been when he said something about sometimes like the loneliest time is when you're in a room full of people.
Yep.
So I think he gets it,
Yeah.
how Ron is feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, it does feel a little bad that, Ron is sort of ostracized
Yeah.
a little bit because everybody thinks he's a traitor just because of his association with Donna
Right.
and because of the thing with Portia, of course.
Right. Yeah.
But other people have been wrong.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's what strikes me about shows like this, because I'm always looking at them from like the sociological standpoint. But he has been wrong just as much as other folks. But because of the way that he is, people seem to hang on to his wrong. And I don't know whether it's because he's easier. I don't know whether it's because they're expecting a certain thing out of him. But it just seems like you get the ire of everyone else when everyone else is doing the same things you are,
Yeah, right,
and you wonder why. And if it's just because I don't like to hang out and talk, or I need me time or recharge time, then there's something wrong with that in my mind. But hey, that's just me reading into stuff.
yeah. I mean, it is a little bit much that everybody is still stuck on the Portia thing. I mean, of course, like I didn't like that Portia was um that she was banished the first night too, and I understood why. But true, like his mistake was no bigger than anybody else's
No,
mistake, to be honest.
and everybody else voted for it too.
Yeah,
And then to sort of, there's the other thing, like it's the blame game, right? Oh, I wouldn't have done it if you didn't say anything. Stand on your own too. Make your own decision. Don't
right,
make a decision and then come back and try and blame somebody else for the things that you did.
right, right.
Act like you had no hand in getting Portia out of there. All of y'all did, because most of y'all voted for
True, true.
him.
And I mean, and he made good points. They voted him out, and then, honestly, it was better to me. His situation was a little bit better than some other situations because he did have some points to reference to.
Yeah.
He had an argument for why he thought what he thought, and it wasn't just because she had a theory about who was a traitor, which is that argument that Colton came up with. Well, because she sounds like a traitor, because she, was three steps ahead with thinking of what she would have done if she was a traitor. Everybody is thinking
Yeah.
of who could be a
Who
traitor,
could it be?
and
Right.
everybody has a theory. So to me, Ron's argument made sense.
Yeah.
You know, tr- Portia had made those couple slip ups,
Yeah.
and those things were things that, saying I did this or I did that, which is why he thought that she was a traitor.
Mm-hmm.
That was perfectly good sense.
Yeah.
Like that made perfectly good sense.
Yeah. He brought
It
evidence.
wasn't just some random theory.
No. And
And I
that's what.
think she did it maybe like two or three times.
Yeah,
So
she did.
yeah,
And that's what makes them catching Donna so early. I think almost backfires on them because they just feel like they can just run with theories now. Because the only thing they had on her was because she seemed like she would make a good trader.
right, right,
So, all right, cool.
right. So we move on in the episode. Kristen, Mark, Johnny, Maura, and Tara are talking about Colton, and
Hmm.
again about solidifying 8 people together that they could basically control the round table if 8 of them got together to vote. Um, and then in another room, Colton pulls Natalie and tells her that he's on to Lisa.
Yeah,
And he says if he tells enough people about Lisa and she murders him, then they will know that she's a traitor.
yeah. See, that's strategy. That's what I don't think the faithful have been doing enough of. Like figuring out how to put the traders in situations where they have to reveal themselves. The more I watch this, the more I think that's what you need to look for as a faithful is how to do it. How to put them in those situations. It's like, okay, if I'm faithful on this show, my job one is to be friends with everybody so that nobody wants to vote me out so I don't leave early. My job is not to appear like I'm so smart or too big of a threat that somebody wants to vote me out because I need to stay around because the only way you get these folks is if you build evidence and you set things for them to fall into. And what he's doing is he's setting something for someone to fall into. Because
True.
he said it. He's like, I'm going to mention it and I'm going to see who tries to protect her or who responds weird to what I'm saying when it comes to
Right.
saying that Lisa is a traitor.
Right.
So he's trying to play the game now. It might be too late, but he's trying now.
Yeah. I mean, I think he was playing all along. He just was sort of playing like a bull in a china shop, kind of just, as he said, reckless. Like he
Yeah,
just, aggressively
yeah.
playing.
And
Um,
and I think at the beginning of the episode anyway, he seemed like he was a little gun shy because he
yeah,
made those
because he made the
mistakes.
mistakes, right?
Right.
So then Colton, he goes into a room with Lisa and Dorinda and Candace and some others, and he mentions that the housewives are together, and then he makes a remark about Lisa having on not having on her sunglasses so he can see her eyes, which I mean at that point he was just being sort of petty
Yeah,
and just
definitely.
trying to dig, you
Yep.
know. Um,
I mean, it's almost like it seems to backfire a little bit because what you don't want to do, I think, is agitate because you're setting up a trap. I get it, but you don't agitate because then you just look like the
right.
the person that's being a donkey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as he was going through some of the things, I was like, "What's with the face? Why you gotta make the face? Why you gotta try and egg her on?" Right? I mean, set the trap, let it fall where it
Yeah,
may.
because it's not like she's gonna get mad and say, "I'm a traitor." Like, she's
Right.
not gonna do that.
Right.
So, all you're doing now is just being a pain in the behind.
Hmm.
And for those who don't believe that Lisa is a traitor, you're not helping them to start to believe she is,
No,
actually. You're not
because you're
doing
being a
that.
jerk.
Yeah, because they're not gonna believe it if they don't believe it, right? And you irritating is not gonna help. You
Right.
need to, like you say, set a trap, make something happen in order
Right.
to make people believe it or collect some evidence, right?
Right. Yep.
So they leave for the challenge, and
Did
Colton's
you
in the
notice one thing real quick with the group of 8 that Johnny was putting together? Did you notice there's 2 traders in there?
yes,
Rob R.
and
and
Candace,
Candace.
yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like, yep, I'm putting a group of 8 faithfuls together so that we can run the table.
yeah,
And you got traders in there. So
right,
that's a hard thing to do.
yeah. I mean, you still can run the table, but you just won't be running it on
You
them,
won't be running it to get them.
right?
Right.
So they leave for the challenge, and Colton's in the car. He's talking about Lisa again,
Hmm.
and Rob is also in the car.
Yes.
And so he's in this real tricky situation here because he's close to Colton. He's got
Hmm.
that alliance with him. He also is in an alliance with the Traitors, basically too.
Yeah.
And so he's got to play his game.
It's got a
Yeah,
tight rope to walk.
yeah, because he's got to play his game
Yeah.
too. And so he's trying not to betray the Traitors, but also trying to play his game. So he just says that it's
It's
plausible
plausible.
that Lisa could
But
be a
and
traitor.
and that's big because he could have said, I don't think so. But I don't know how he knew or what made him decide to say plausible in that instance, right? Because if if that were Candace in the car, I would almost guarantee that she would say, "No, I don't think so,"
Well, it would
and
make
that
sense
may
though.
have set off
I don't know that it would have triggered anything because
set off his
again,
radar.
Candace is also a housewife. And Candace was very protective of Portia as well. So Candace plausibly could say, you know, I'm protecting the housewives. I'm sticking
That's
by my
true.
girls. So I'm not going to vote for them. Like
That's
I'm not
true.
going to do that. So I think that Candace could have very well gotten away with it.
Yeah.
Now for Rob, because Rob doesn't appear like super close to Lisa or anything, it would have been weird for him to like
Okay.
really, really defend her
Right.
like that.
Right. Rob is playing smart.
He is.
He's playing smart.
He is. So they get to the cabin. And Alan welcomes them to his captivating cabin in the woods. And once inside, they get a clue about a person buried in the graveyard. And whenever the door opens, two people should run out to the grave, and both need to be standing in front of the grave. Um, and they have to like give a number. I think like they have to find there are all kinds of clues being given in the cabin,
Yeah.
and then there's a number associated with that grave. When they go out, they find the grave. I think they yell the number or whatever.
It's their date of death.
Yeah, and then they get money
Right. The
from
money
it.
bag
Yeah,
pops up.
right.
They get three
Uh,
thousand each time.
right, and if it's the wrong grave, then the money will go back down in the hole.
Right. They don't get it.
Yeah. So,
Oh. Okay.
there are also shields buried, and if the players take the shields, then they forego the gold.
Right.
Um, and so also they won't be returning to the cabin. So once their turn is over, once they run out, they won't be returning to the cabin. They're going back to the castle.
Right.
So Natalie starts the conversation about whether they will go for the shields. And then she says, if you take a shield, you're getting banished.
Yeah.
The challenge starts.
Mm-hmm.
And they realize this little sugar bowl that was sort of sliding around the table was spelling out something like a Ouija board.
Mm.
They look for they think it's Lewis, and I think Jam Jam might have said Clark.
Yeah.
So Candace and Tara run out, and they're looking for Louise Clark.
Yep.
And people in the cabin are yelling black, black, but of course they don't hear.
I
So
don't know. I feel like somebody said black twice on the outside.
no, they said Clark.
I really do.
They said Clark. So they go to Louise Clark,
Mm-hmm.
and of course it's wrong.
Yep.
And so the money bag comes up and goes back down in the dirt. And so they don't get the cash
Right.
or the gold, and then they have to go back to the cabin.
Right.
So they lost the first round. Next, and it's a really creepy, nasty cabin, with all kinds of little weird things going on this time. There's blood running down the wall for the next
Mm-hmm.
the next challenge, and then they get the next clue, and it's Jack Stone, and Jam Jam and Mara run out, and Jam Jam wants to get the shield, and
Yep.
Mara's like no,
No.
and so they get the clue. They find Jack Stone's
Yep.
grave and grave marker and yell out the date of death and get the
And get the
cat and get the
cash.
gold or whatever. But
Yeah. Lock it in.
Mora thought it was real traitor behavior for him to want to get the gold. I mean, want to take a shield instead of getting the gold.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know. You should want a shield if you are faithful.
Yeah,
It's a
you
way to
should.
stay safe.
Yeah, right, right.
So
So the next challenge, there are bugs,
yeah.
and then there's a typewriter that's typing out a riddle. And Lisa and Mark run out, and Lisa is just like standing there being dramatic and screaming. And Mark, I think, goes over to the grave first, and then she comes over, and so they get their clue right too, and they get the gold for that one.
Yeah. I thought they guessed on that one too. I think it was between two names and they had to pick one of them.
Oh, okay, I must have missed that part. And then the next one, we see like doll heads and
Mm-hmm.
bugs and something behind a curtain with a balloon. I guess it was a clown or something. And then a doll, I think, says the clue.
Right.
And Johnny and Dorinda run out. and they get that one right as well.
Yep.
Yeah. So let me see. So next they solve a clue using some clocks, and Colton and Kristen get that clue.
Yes.
And then Natalie and Steven get the final clue.
Right.
And so the last three in the cabin are Rob, Ron, and Eric.
Yeah.
And those are the final three.
Those are the final three that are left.
Yeah.
And so nobody took a shield,
Nobody took a shield.
and
And
they just went back to the cabin.
yeah, and so they got all of them correct except
Except for the
back to the
first one.
castle. Yeah,
Yeah, went back to the castle.
yeah. All of them were correct except the first one with Candace and Tara.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rob is of course happy that they can murder whoever they want tonight because nobody
Yeah.
took a shield.
Yeah.
And Ron is talking about going home soon.
Yep.
So he's starting to just settle into the fact that
Yeah,
he's
he's
gonna
gonna
be
go.
voted out tonight or banished.
Right.
Yeah. And then Rob goes on to talk more about wanting to keep Ron around longer,
Mm-hmm.
and how he likes Ron. Um, they get back to the castle, and Johnny and Mark are talking about wanting to get out Colton, and that's the same old conversation that they have been having.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And they're rallying votes, right? Trying to get the 8 strong together so that they can get 8 people to say and write down his name
right,
and get
right.
him out.
Yeah. And I don't know. I'm not a big Colton fan,
I'm
so
not either.
I'm not a Colton fan. It's just, and it's like he's not wrong.
No, yeah,
I don't know what it is.
but it's
He's not wrong though about the things, and he does have some strategy. I think I just don't like the way he aggressively goes after the people. That might be it. It might be that.
I think it's the Tiffany vote that gets everybody.
Well, it was a Tiffany vote, and it was that he was aggressive about it.
Hmm.
And now it's the Lisa vote, and that he's aggressive about it. And granted, he is right about
He's
Lisa.
right.
But I think the aggravating, I want to, like, see how it has on glasses and we can't see her eyes and this, that, and the third. What? Because
Yeah.
that has to do with her being a traitor. I mean, because she wears glasses. Now, I get her being quiet and maybe not being dramatic at the round table is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But also, she doesn't have to be on 24/7.
No.
You know,
Yep.
she doesn't have to be on 24/7. Sometimes she might just not, like, if she's not confident about something, maybe she's just not speaking about it.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. Anyway, Rob again is talking about how he doesn't think Ron is a traitor. And Candace is like, "What are you doing, Rob?" like, like Ron being voted or banished is right up their alley, right?
Yeah.
There's heat on Lisa.
Yep.
So if Ron is the main topic of discussion, then that keeps the heat off of
For
Lisa.
Lisa. Exactly.
So why are you now protecting people who are not traitors?
It's the feelings. He likes them.
Yeah. So Johnny's group meets to talk about getting out Colton, and they make the mistake of telling Rob.
Was it a mistake though?
Yeah, I mean, Rob doesn't go back and tell Colton, I don't think,
No.
but he's not a part of the group and he's not going to vote out Rob. I think it's weird that they don't notice that Rob is closer to Colton.
Yeah, I don't know what made them pull him into the group.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't know though. I mean, they also pulled Eric into the group and one might think that Eric was and Colton were close. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know.
So then Colton comes into the kitchen and he asks Lisa to talk.
Yeah.
He proposes to her, like they go off to a separate space. He proposes to her that he will protect her at the round table if she protects him in the turret. And he says that he wants to win with her. And I'm like, how are you gonna win with her if you're faithful? If you think she's a traitor, A traitor and a faithful can't win together.
They can't win that. Nope, they can't win
It's either
together.
one or the other. If the traitor makes it to the end, the traitor wins. So how are you going to win with her? Have you not watched the show?
I don't know what he thought would happen with this,
And did
other
he
than
really
just
think that she was going to admit that she was a traitor?
uh, uh,
If like why?
that's the only reason I could think that you would want to do that. I mean, to see her reaction and see how what she does.
Well, she's also an actress.
Is she?
Yes.
Oh
So no, she wasn't going to go for this. Of course she said
no,
I'm not
I'm
a faithful.
yeah,
I'm not a traitor.
and that's what you would
That's what you
expect.
would expect her to say. You weren't going to catch her out there. She already knows that you're on to her, one. So she wasn't going to fall for your shenanigans. I
I'll
don't know.
protect you at the table if you protect me in the turret.
Yeah. Right.
To what ends?
Right.
Ugh.
So they wait a minute. I'm getting my notes mixed up. So she of course denies being a faithful. I mean being a traitor. She says that she's a faithful.
Mm-hmm.
She tells them that he's barking up the wrong tree,
Mm-hmm.
and so sort of dismisses him.
Yeah.
And so the next thing we get to is at the round table. And Ron says that the round table is his time to shine.
Boom.
As they're going in, he seems excited about round table time.
Yeah, and that's what else sort of bugs me a little bit about because I think Dorinda was calling him out earlier about he seems so quiet elsewhere, but when he gets to the round table, he's all of a sudden really talkative. And again, just gets me back to yeah, some people have an area or a place where they are on and they know they can function well there.
Right,
And I think that's what this is for him. That's why he's like, it's my time to shine. He knows this is where I thrive.
right.
You
Because he
know?
has his points together
Right.
and what he thinks, and
He's
he's
like,
able to just sit down and talk about it.
yeah, the way I think, the way I put things together, the way I read people, this is and this what that's what this game is about. This is my time to shine. And she's again holding it against him like it proves that he's a traitor.
Right,
So
right.
that again, just another sociological thing, social thing, but it just bugs me. It just bugs me a little bit.
Yeah.
So
So Johnny is talking up getting out Colton, and this is all while they're all walking in.
yeah.
Colton is saying that he's going with Ron,
Hmm.
but he is concerned about Lisa.
Hmm.
And then so they sit down, and everybody's at the round table, and begin to have discussions. Mark jumps in, and he asks Ron to talk about his
No,
behavior.
no, no. Wait, let's do this the correct order, right? Didn't Ron say something first? Ron, I thought he said something to the effect of we can't waste this time or something like
He
that.
says something
And
because everybody was
then
quiet.
right. And then Mark, and I thought that was Ron, like, yeah, this is my time to shine. This is what I do. And then Mark was like, I'd like for you to tell me why you're not a traitor type of thing.
Yeah. So and then of course Ron and Dorinda have words because Dorinda jumps in to say something about his behavior or whatever, and then of course they have words. And I think she's sort of stuck on the fact that he's not there making friends.
Right.
She's still on the he's not making friends. She didn't say at this point, like, well, he doesn't know anything about me or whatever, which is what she had been
Which you said
saying
before.
before.
Right.
Um, and I mean, I guess not everybody's interested in getting to know everybody there.
No,
That's just not
that's not
everybody's
part of the game, and that's
personality.
not how everybody moves.
Right, right.
Right.
So Ron made the point that Colton has gotten the vote wrong also.
Mm-hmm.
And then he points out that because we don't like Michael,
Right.
doesn't mean that we don't count that vote.
Right.
Because they, of course, said, I think they said something about the Portia vote and about um, Ron's voting in the past, but he points to Colton and he makes a good point.
Again,
Yeah.
this is his area.
And Right.
This isn't
And that
Rena.
was a very good point. I mean, you're not count, you can't not count
Right.
Michael. Michael wasn't a traitor. And
Cause
whether you like him or not, he wasn't a traitor.
yeah, because I think he pointed to him and was like, "Well, I think you're one because you got it wrong." And he's like, again, classic Ron, thoughtful. He was calm the whole time. He said, "Yeah, but you've got it wrong more than me.
Right.
You got Tiffany wrong, and you got Michael wrong.
Right.
Just because people don't like him, does that mean you didn't get it wrong? People like Portia. You're gonna hold that against me? I don't think that's fair."
Right.
Something to that effect is what he
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
which was a good point. And you could sort of feel, I could anyway. I don't know about you, just sort of feel shifts happening in the room.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he was making a good case.
That was a good point. He makes good points.
Right.
Um, so Kristen jumps in to say, to talk about Colton,
Hmm.
and how he reverse engineers the votes. And then Johnny also pipes up and he says it makes him feel like a puppet when Colton does, goes in
Hmm.
on people and
That was me being a
changes.
puppet.
I saw it
Okay.
was distracting. Um, so Eric also jumps in and Maura to talk about Colton.
Yep.
And Colton looks surprised, of course.
Yeah.
He looks shocked
I
that
think
they were on him.
yeah, and I think because he still thought he was running things
Yeah,
and know that he wouldn't be on people's radar. And I think that's what took him a little bit by surprise.
yeah. And I think
So
that's probably what I don't like about him.
it'll be interesting to see how he responds to this in the next episode.
Yeah. So Eric also jumps in and Maura. And they're all questioning Colton's,
Hmm.
his style, basically.
Right.
Um, and so Colton said that he's playing reckless and bold. And Rob and Jam Jam jump in to defend. They
Colton.
jump in and then they defend Ron too.
Well, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then Ron goes around and tells people, basically goes around and says like he wants to just tell people bye.
So when he did this, I thought you were doing good. You're giving in right here. You're basically saying and giving them an excuse to go ahead and vote you out.
Well, I think he said that the best way that he could show that he was a faithful.
Yeah, why?
And then somebody else said that too, that the question of him being a faithful would not be answered basically until he
Until
was gone.
yeah, but why does he you know why is he falling on the sword like
I
that?
think he's probably tired.
He might be. He might be ready to go home. But I think
Like,
he still has
because
some
he
fight.
said something about seeing his children and his girlfriend.
I think he still has some fight though. I
He
think he
might have
wanted
had
to
some
stay
fight,
and
but
find the
like
traitors.
after a while, like you're by yourself for the most part. People don't trust you,
But
and these are not your friends.
yeah. And the point is, and I think you're getting ready to get to it, is I thought it was, sort of a bad move until he started doing it and you saw the people reacting
Mm-hmm.
to what he was doing.
Yeah,
Then I was
they
like,
were
this dude
reacting.
is a genius.
Yeah, because Tara just she says she was just like it's not Ron.
Right. I mean, I'm going here saying my goodbyes to folks, telling you you're good people. I like you. Keep doing what you do. You're a rock star. And the people are behind muttering, like, I don't think it's him.
Yeah,
I'm
and
like,
Natalie also
genius.
jumps in and she says she doesn't think it's him either.
Right.
And so then this gives Colton, who said he wasn't going to say anything or say Lisa's
Hmm.
name, it gives him the idea or the clearance now to throw out Lisa. Now the people are saying they don't
Yeah.
think it's Ron.
Just couldn't help himself, could he?
Hmm.
I thought he was going to stay quiet, but he just couldn't help himself.
Yeah. And then Natalie, of course, throws out how it bothered her that Lisa voted for Portia the first night
Yeah.
because I think she pointed out, and I don't remember whether she pointed it out at this point, but at one point during the episode, Natalie said the first night she would have never voted out a survivor
Right. That's what she
because
said.
all you have is your group.
Right.
So I don't remember whether she said it at that point, but she did say it that at that point that it threw her that
Hmm.
Lisa would vote for Portia, and I knew that that was a mistake for her. When she did it, I was like, that's not a good look
Yeah.
because they don't turn on each other, and they certainly wouldn't turn on each other that early in the game,
Right.
right? I mean, that's something that you might do 3 votes in, but the first night, the first y'all
Yeah.
are sticking together.
Yeah. I think that's what you're going to see going forward is groups that come in. Well, you won't see it next time, but if they do like sort of this celebrity thing,
Mhm.
groups that are coming in are really going to stick together at least for the
Well, that's what they
first couple of
usually
rounds of
do.
banishment.
That's what they usually do. Then so Colton and Lisa go back and forth, of course, with
Hmm.
Lisa saying that she's faithful, and Colton, of course, making his points that she's a traitor, which aren't
Hmm.
really much, And then it's time to vote. You get Stephen, Maura, and Mark all voted for Ron, and they were in the group that was supposed to be the 8.
Right. So hold up, before we do that, what did you think of Lisa's argument back to Colton? I
Um,
wasn't impressed.
I
I didn't
wasn't
think
really
she did enough
impressed
to
either.
really get off the radar.
I didn't think so either, but it wasn't too much that she could do. I think she made more of an argument after when they were in the kitchen,
Yeah,
after the
yeah,
round table.
yeah, I
But
agree.
at the round table, she just, wasn't too much she could say. I mean, either you're gonna say, I mean, what do you say to somebody who really doesn't have an argument?
Yeah, but she
Like,
if she'd have did that at the what she did in the kitchen at the round table, she probably would not have gotten many votes at all.
probably not.
But yeah, I
Um,
was like, you could have did a little more.
yeah. But the thing that got me was I didn't understand how the people who were a part of the 8, why did they vote for Ron and not vote for Colton?
I don't know.
It didn't make any sense to me.
I don't know if they ever really solidified on the 8 all doing the same thing.
I don't know. But I thought sure Mark.
I don't
I don't
know. I'm
know.
not sure if Mark was because
Mark
remember
was on the Colton
he
tree.
was.
Yes, he was talking to
Okay.
Johnny about it and he
Yeah.
mentioned it a couple times because he actually was one of the people that was talking to Kristen
Right.
about it,
Right.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
talked to
You're right.
Kristen more than once
More than
about
once.
this.
Right.
So it was shocking to me that he
That
would
he went
vote for
that way.
Ron, especially after what Ron, was going around saying his goodbyes and this and that, and folks were starting to believe that Ron was not a traitor. Why
Hmm.
then are you now voting for him? It's just
Right.
weird. So,
Right.
but anyway, and then Rob votes for Lisa.
And I wrote, did Rob have a choice?
I think he had a choice. It's the same thing he said to Candace in the kitchen when he said that I don't know if he said his hands were tied. He said something, but like that it would have been a bad move for him and to vote for Ron like everybody else because he didn't believe Ron was a traitor. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think
I
he
mean, you don't
had
believe
to.
anybody's a traitor. You know who the traitors are.
Right. I don't think he had to vote for Lisa. I think he could have voted for Ron
He could have because Ron was going home anyway.
and have just been like, I hate to do this. You know, we got to see this is where everybody else is
Right.
leaning.
And just say I don't have enough evidence against Colton or Lisa. I really don't have enough evidence against you either, but it seems to be what everybody else wants to do. I mean, he could have used anything,
Yeah.
but to vote for him is crazy.
I know. Yeah.
I mean, vote for Lisa is crazy.
And to your point, I don't know if he could have voted for Colton.
I don't think he could have voted for Colton. I think he could have just voted for Ron. I think that was the only move that he had.
Yeah.
But at any rate, he voted for Lisa, which was not a good move.
Which is crazy.
That was crazy. So Ron is banished, and of course he stands up and tells everybody that he's a faithful.
Hmm.
And then, oops, sorry. And then Alan, of course, announces the banquet.
Right.
Um, so he talks about them having to wear an amulet, I think it was called.
Yeah, it's the amulet that they have to wear, and then they have to murder someone at the
Oh,
banquet.
I skipped something.
You did.
I did. I skipped Lisa, Candace, Natalie, and Dorinda are in the kitchen. And also I wrote in my notes, what is Natalie wearing? What is that outfit she's got on? It's
I
horrible.
don't know. I'm telling you, their clothes. I don't know if they bring their own stuff, but some of the sweaters and jackets that the guys wear, they they like that. They be
Yeah.
putting it on.
Well, I mean, I feel
So
most of them dress pretty nice.
yeah, but
But that
I
outfit
don't know
that
what Natalie
Natalie
was
had on,
doing.
I don't know what that was.
It
Like
seems to be her
it
personality though.
I don't know what that was. It was sort of like a, I don't know, a Marvel superhero outfit. It was a mess, and heels. Like it was
Right.
awful. Whatever it was. But so anyway, so Candace said that they should start talking about what Colton said, start taking what Colton says with a grain of salt.
Hmm.
That's one of the things that she says in the kitchen. And Lisa tells Colton that she's more than a housewife,
Yeah,
which is the argument that she should have made or could have
at the
made at the
table.
table.
Yep.
She said that she's Lisa Renna. She was Lisa Renna before Housewives, and she's Lisa Renna now. Like, and I think that's the argument that like she could have made at the
Yeah,
table because she doesn't have to be
because
on
it
all the
fits. I
time.
don't
She's
have
a
to. Right.
person.
Right.
And sometimes I feel like I want to be dramatic, and other times
Times
I might just feel like I want to be quiet. And
you want.
whatever it is what it is.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
So, but in the hindsight of things, I think Colton putting Lisa on blast like that was really a good thing for him. Getting into it that publicly probably saved him
Yeah.
because they
Yeah.
can't afford to right now because one of the prime suspects is going to be Lisa.
Yeah. And I think if that was, if I'm not mistaken, at that point
Hmm.
might have been the time that Colton said something about, what did he say about murdering him? Like, oh, he said, if
Yeah,
you're gonna murder me, like you should do it tonight or something like that, because afterwards I'm gonna be gunning for the
I'm gonna get
shields, something
every
like that.
shield. Yep.
Yep. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
So
exactly what he said.
he's making his declarations about what he's planning to do. But the other thing about it is that with him saying that, they can't really do
Yeah, that's what I'm
anything about
saying.
it.
That was a good play.
Yeah. And I mean, sort of. So yeah, it was a good play, but it could also be said that if there if Lisa wasn't a traitor and someone else in the room was a traitor, it would cast suspicion on Lisa.
Right.
So it could be that it could be spun as, the traitors are trying to set her up if they were to kill her, if they
Yeah.
were to murder him that night.
So which is going to be more believable?
Because
That
it
the
would be too.
traders are going to get rid of him,
Well, the
right?
traitors would say, if I were a traitor, and Lisa could say, why would I get rid of Colton when all he did was say my name? That would just be crazy for me to come around and
Well,
obvious to take him out now.
but the bigger difference is that no other if you were a faithful, you could not do anything to him even if he did say your name. So the only people that can take revenge, for lack of a better term, are the traders.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be seen
The
as, it would
other,
be a random, it would be like a random murder. So,
but it wouldn't be random anymore, right?
well, the thing is, just like they tried to set up the scenario about Michael, they tried to say Colton himself made the argument that everybody that voted for Michael the first night was gone. Now, mind you, he's the one who was the problem with Tiffany, but he set it up. He said, well, Rob C voted for him and he got murdered. Ian voted for him and he got murdered.
Hmm.
Monet voted for him and he got murdered.
Hmm.
So he tried to make it seem like everybody who voted for Michael
Hmm.
was murdered, as if and paint the picture that Michael was a traitor.
Right.
So that's why I'm saying in this particular situation, Lisa could say the same thing, right? Why would I do that if Colton has been saying my
She
name?
could.
Colton's been saying my name over and over again. It would be silly for me to get rid of him
She could.
because it would be obvious and people would it would cast more suspicion on him. So she
Lisa.
could pull a double and just double back and say that's, I would never do that because if I was, it would be too obvious.
How many votes did Lisa get?
I think she
She
got
got
four,
five
four
votes.
or five.
She got 5 votes. So there are already 5 people who think that she may be a traitor. They were willing to vote on the fact that she would be a traitor. Let Colton go. I don't think those 5 votes are going anywhere. And they could rally some others because Ron got 6 and he's gone now.
Maybe. I don't know.
So I think he did a good thing. I think it's hard for them to to carry out a murder on Colton because he's called them out and been so loud about it. Now they could try to do like you're saying, and that's I get it. But if you do that, I don't think it takes suspicion away. I think that there's already suspicion there, and it could grow. It could get bigger.
It could. I
If she
mean,
if she didn't
maybe.
have any votes, I'd be like, yeah. But she got 5.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, Michael lasted for a while too. And I don't know that Michael even would have got him voted out when he got voted out had he not been running his mouth so
No,
much.
yeah, Michael did himself in
Yeah.
because he just didn't know how to be quiet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he was, I think he was scot free until he started talking, and then they voted out the best looking, the dopest, faithful.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know.
If you're a traitor and you know it, clap your hands.
Yeah, Michael was something else. So, the next scene is in the turret. And in the turret, the traders are told that one of them must wear this amulet. And that the person who touches the amulet, the faithful that touches the amulet, would be murdered.
Yep,
So, Lisa decides to wear it, which only made sense,
makes sense.
right? Because Rob couldn't wear it. And I don't know. I think Candace might have been able to get away
She
with
could have
it,
won.
but she could have. So the traders later on they gather in the kitchen and they tell Rob that they don't trust him,
Mm-hmm.
which makes sense. And then it's like, I don't know, production was playing around, may have been playing with us a little bit
Yeah.
because you see Kristen walk back and sort of double
Mhm.
back. I think you see Johnny walk back and sort of double back in
Yep.
the hallway. And so you don't know whether
Yeah.
they
People are
are
overhearing
listening,
and
whether
seeing
they
stuff.
saw them together. You don't know like what that
Yeah.
was. Um, and they both sort of look like they're listening or
Right.
doubling back to look. So you really don't know what's
Yeah, you
going
don't
on
know.
there. And so it goes off where like everybody is getting dressed and getting prepared for the banquet.
Yeah.
So we don't know,
What's
what's
gonna
gonna
happen?
happen at this banquet, but we're thinking it's gonna
Banquet's
be
gonna be
good.
interesting.
And they didn't say who they were setting up to murder.
No. But if so, okay, I just said they couldn't murder um
Colton.
Colton. I think all bets are off since it's a murder in plain sight, now that I think about it.
Well, I
So
don't they have to name
now
the person that they're gonna murder?
no, I don't know if they have to name him. I think it's like the first person that touches the amulet.
Uh,
So it's like if they do it in plain sight, I think I think that uh it's fine. I think all bets are off.
hmm,
I really do.
I don't know.
Yeah, I do.
We'll see.
Because murders in plain sight are it's almost as luck of the draw as it is, you know, a directed attempt at someone.
I don't know that that's
The
always
last one
true.
wasn't, right?
Yeah, I don't
Because of
know
the
that it's
card.
always true.
They had to decide. But once before that, whoever drinks out of this cup or whoever does some such and such a thing, they're almost luck of the draw. Where it almost seems like they get down to the end and they're just like trying to find anybody to do the action.
I don't know.
So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. But that might be their out if they want to get Colt. No, in my mind.
Yeah, I don't know how she would get him to touch an amulet though.
I don't know.
That would be pretty hard to
How do
do,
you get anybody to touch anything?
right? Unless you drop it and they walk off, I
See,
don't
you
know.
won't even touch my hand.
And also, if they were listening to Rob C
Oh
at
yeah.
all when he was on there, they wouldn't touch anything or do anything
Oh, I
because he said, "Don't touch anybody, don't let anybody touch you," or something like that.
I think this time it was Johnny when they got up to go from the round table who said, "Don't eat anything" or something like that.
Yeah, so
So
I think they're on to him.
everybody's going to be watching to see
Yeah,
what it could be.
yep.
So cool.
All right.
All right.
So we'll look forward to episode 7.
Yep. Like, subscribe, do all the things, hit the notification bells. What are those things that they have now? Keep talking about the
I've seen them.
woohoos or wahoos or
Hypes.
the hypes.
It's
Yeah, hype.
yeah, but I don't know if we can. I don't know if we can get hypes. I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. But we'll
If you
see.
can hype, then
Yeah.
hype. But yeah, we out of here. That's a
Yep.
one in the can. Traders. What season is this?
Season 4, episode 6.
Episode 6. All right,
Thanks.
we out. Deuces.
Thanks.